Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to discuss 8 signs that you have advanced English. So if you're here, you probably want to know if you are advanced or not. These 8 signs will tell you exactly where you stand. And if you want to level up, I've included tips to help you improve each of these skills. So let's get started. So first we have fluency and confidence. An advanced English speaker will be able to talk about something without pausing constantly. It's okay to take time to think about what you want to say, but you shouldn't have to pause to think about how to say it. So what I mean is that you don't have to think about the grammar or the vocabulary too much. The words can just come quite naturally and quite quickly. Also, advanced speakers are not going to use filler words too much. So these are the words. They'll be able to express their ideas quite clearly and smoothly. Advanced speakers will also be able to share their ideas on complex topics. So not just simple likes and dislikes. So they might be able to discuss climate change, for example, using the right vocabulary, the right terms, and really give a detailed argument about what they think on that topic. So to improve your fluency and confidence, set a timer for 5 minutes, choose a topic and try to talk as smoothly as you can with as few pauses as possible. If for some reason you get a little bit stuck, it's okay to use simpler vocabulary, but the goal is to keep talking with as few pauses as possible. It's going to be really difficult to start with, but over time you'll get much more confident and it will become much more easy. Next, let's talk about listening comprehension. This is essential for advanced English. If you have advanced English, you'll be able to understand people with different accents. You'll be able to understand people who speak quickly or even use idioms, for example. So you might watch a British TV show, for example, and you'll be able to understand what people are saying, even if they use slang or perhaps a regional accent. Someone with advanced English will also be able to follow a fast-paced conversation or a group discussion. This is really important if you want to use English in a business setting or even in an academic setting. If you want to level up your listening comprehension, I recommend listening to different accents. So don't just watch American TV shows, maybe watch British or Australian, Canadian TV shows, and try to be comfortable with those different accents. At first, just focus on understanding the main ideas, and then over time, you'll be able to pick up details more easily. And also, don't forget to listen to non-native speakers of English. Most of the people in the world who speak English are non-native speakers. So if you're using English in a kind of international setting, probably you're having conversations with non-native speakers. So make sure that you spend time becoming familiar with those accents too. So next we have vocabulary and idiomatic language. So advanced users of English know a lot of words. These are informal, formal, and sometimes even technical words maybe related to their specific field. And also general technical terms, perhaps related to finance or medicine. They'll also understand idioms. Idioms are phrases that don't make sense when you translate them directly. For example, an American colleague might say to you in a business situation, "Let's get the ball rolling on this project." So let's get the ball rolling just means let's start the work on this project. So using idioms and precise vocabulary shows that you understand the details of the English language. If you want to level up your vocabulary, aim to learn at least one advanced word or a new idiom each day. Always be thinking about developing your language. Try using them in sentences or in conversations. Over time, you'll become much more confident with them. One thing I want to say about idioms is that it's much more important to understand them when you hear them used than to actually use them yourself. It's quite difficult to use idioms accurately and use them well because there's so much culture connected with them. So focus on comprehension first and then start using them as you become more confident. Let's talk about grammar and accuracy. If you are an advanced user of English, you don't make many mistakes, and the mistakes you do make probably won't affect how well the other person understands what you're saying. You should also be confident with complex grammar, for example, conditionals or different grammar tenses. For example, you should be comfortable saying something like, had we known about this earlier, we would have prepared differently. Using a sentence like this shows that you have a good control of grammar. So where can you start with improving your grammar? Well, you should be making very few mistakes with basic grammar. 85% of the time you're going to be using basic grammar, so make sure you go back and brush up on the basics. Once you're comfortable with the basics, then think about the advanced grammar structures that you want to improve. Just go one at a time. Pick one grammar point and write 5 sentences each day using that grammar point. Over time, you're going to be more comfortable and these structures are going to become automatic for you. Okay, next we have reading comprehension. Advanced learners will be able to understand a wide variety of texts. So it could be newspaper articles, novels, reports, any kind of text, and you'll be able to understand the main points and the details. So even if there are a few words that you don't understand, you're still able to get the main points quite easily. So if you can read a news article on a topic that you're unfamiliar with, but you can still understand the main points, then that's a really good sign that you have advanced reading skills. So to improve your reading skills, start with texts at your level and then slowly challenge yourself with more difficult texts. One thing you can try is after you read something, try to summarize it in your own words. You can do this in writing or you can just do it spoken. And I also suggest reading widely, so reading on a variety of different topics. This is going to help you to be comfortable with English in a variety of contexts and is going to help develop your vocabulary. If you're enjoying this video and you want more tips on how to take your English to the next level, don't forget to subscribe and please take a minute to share this video with a friend. That really helps the channel to grow. Let's talk about writing. Advanced writers can express their ideas clearly and structure their writing well. So this could be an essay, a report, or an email. Whatever you are writing, there will be a specific format that you should follow. I've been surprised many times when people I thought had advanced writing skills couldn't structure a simple business email. Advanced writers will also be able to change their style depending on what is required in the situation. For example, informal language or formal language. They're going to make very few grammar mistakes, very few spelling mistakes, and they will rarely use a word incorrectly. So to boost your writing skills, try to write different types of texts. So for example, one day write a formal email, maybe the next day write an argumentative essay. You could try to write a review of a movie you've watched and maybe describe your hometown in as much detail as you can. Writing things in different styles will also help you think about the structure of what you're writing, because each one of these texts will have a different structure that you should follow. And don't forget to edit your work. When you finish your writing, read through it, check the grammar, check the vocabulary. Are there any ways that you could level up the quality of your writing? Even something as simple as an email or a text message, read it through and check you haven't made any silly mistakes. Next we have cultural awareness. This is an advanced skill. So advanced learners will understand social norms and cultural references. So cultural awareness goes beyond grammar. This is about understanding how to use the language in different situations. You'll understand when to use humor or when to change the tone when you're speaking to somebody. So how can you improve your cultural awareness? We'll start with TV shows, movies, and watch how people interact with each other. How does the language change depending on the situation, in a business situation or with family or with friends? The more you understand these social cues, the more natural you will feel in English conversations. And speaking of culture, it's important to understand that new words are being created all the time. There are relatively new words that I don't know how to use, or maybe I feel a little bit uncomfortable using. So keep that in mind. Just because there's a new word that you've read somewhere or you've heard somebody use, it doesn't mean that you have to use it immediately, but understanding that it's part of the culture is kind of important. And lastly, we have critical thinking skills. So advanced users of English will be able to share their opinions, discuss a topic, and consider different sides of an issue. So this shows that you can think deeply about a topic in English and share your ideas clearly. So to improve your critical thinking in English, start by reading opinion pieces in newspapers and think about the different sides to different issues. By considering both sides, you'll actually be able to have a better argument with somebody you're talking to. So you'll understand what they are saying, but also you'll be able to express your ideas. So for me, input is really important. And what I mean by this is podcasts, books, newspaper articles. What I like to do if I want to learn about a topic is I will read a number of articles, I will listen to a number of podcasts, and perhaps read a book on that topic. All of this work is going to make it easier for me to have a discussion and feel confident that I know what I'm talking about, and also that I'm aware of the other sides of the issue. Again, if you're hoping to use English in an academic setting, this is a really important skill. So once you've done your research and you're familiar with the topic, try having a conversation with a friend, or even just write down your thoughts. By practicing in English, it's going to help you become a much more flexible user of English. So there you have it, 8 signs that you are an advanced user of English. How many of these describe you? Comment below and let me know if there's anything that you are missing. If you want to keep leveling up your English, please make sure to subscribe. I'll be posting more videos to help you take your English to the next level. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.